So I was hoping maybe we could just finish up a little bit on our Paul conversation. Paul the Apostle, Saint Paul. Um, we talked a little bit about him. We talked about him being a religious leader. And I wanted to tell you about who Paul was before he met Jesus. Um, Paul was this guy who literally hunted down Christians. So if you were a Christ follower in the days when Paul was a religious leader, he was going to hunt you down. And gosh, you may even be killed at his hands. You may be, thrown out of the city, put in prison at his hands. I don't know exactly what that depended on. Maybe if he was having a good day or not. I'm not 100% sure, but Paul was a feared man by Christ followers back in those days. He was someone to be afraid of. He was someone who nobody liked. None of the Christians, no one who was following Christ liked this guy Paul because they were afraid of him. I mean, he had the clout, he had the potential to take their life. He was a bad guy. So this guy wasn't, Robin Hood, robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. He was literally the good people, the good Christians, the Jesus followers. He was persecuting them. He stood and sort of gave permission and watched as a group of soldiers, a group of religious leaders stoned a man named Stephen to death for talking about Jesus, for saying that Jesus was the way, and telling people how they could give their life to him. Paul eventually did have a really radical encounter with Jesus. He was struck blind, and he began to follow Jesus. His heart was broken for what he had been doing. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Paul was a pretty wild guy doing some pretty wrong stuff. And to me, that gives us all hope. What is it on your list today of things that you just didn't step up to the plate on? What is it on your list of things today that you just didn't do as well as you could have done? Or what is it on your list of things today that you did that was just straight up wrong? Just wrong. You name it. You know what it is. You know what your struggle is. You know what your straight up failure is. You know what your straight up sin is. You know what that is. And I want to tell you, it does not disqualify you to be used mightily by God. It doesn't disqualify you to be used mightily to bring light into someone's life, to bring the good news into someone's life. You are not disqualified. You have not done so much wrong. You have not headed so far in the wrong direction that God can't and won't bring you back. He can use you and he will use you. Don't disqualify yourself. Don't say, I could never, he could never, I would never. Don't say that. It doesn't matter how far you've gone in the wrong direction. Today is the day that you can turn that around and head in the right direction. Today is the day that you can turn that around, and like the Apostle Paul, like Saint Paul of the Bible, who wrote so much of the New Testament, you can become a catalyst. You can become a situation that brings light into the lives of others. I would challenge you to go into the Bible and read the book of Acts. It's all these crazy stories of people and how they were radical in their day. And I think that if there's one thing that we would say that we wouldn't want to be, it is pointless. Don't be pointless today. If you've been heading in the wrong direction for days and days and months and years, today's the day. Turn it around. You have not gone so far that you can't be brought back. So give it to God and just say, I feel like I've gone too far. I can't bring myself back. I need you to do it for me, God. God, help me. He'll do it. It's going to be a great day. Think about Paul. Read the book of Acts. It's going to be a great day.